Right now, somewhere in our own buyer database, there is a person that actively looking for a home like yours. And Al, which is me, is already calling them before your sign ever goes on your yard.
And that's how listings typically work in Greenville, across Pitt County, Winterville, Ayden, Farmville, Grimeston, and Grifton. That's what we're really going to talk about today, how we sell home when they are our listing. So who is this for?
Maybe you are basically trading up because the family outgrown the house. Maybe you are empty nester ready for less house and more freedom. Maybe you get a job and you're moving somewhere else with a different timelines. It depends on where you are moving.
Or maybe you inherited the home from somewhere else and discretion matters, and maybe you bought it here and you are now really kind of reconsidering what you want to do. And really this happens all the time before homes ever go public. These are the reasons why people sell homes. Now, before your home goes public, most listings happen because before a single photo even goes up. My husband, Al, and I have to be funny with you because when I first showed him the script today, he thought I wrote AI. And he's like, oh, what are we talking about AI for? I was like, no, we're not. It's your name. So Al is working up the buyer list, calling people. And before the home is public, he's calling the list of buyers already looking for something. And your home might already match somebody that's already there before it even hit the portal, really. So like as I'm putting the stuff in the sky slopes and then putting it into the MLS, he's already making the phone calls. And that's really like how we work every single day on anything. So while I'm pulling permits, we're recommending prices. I'm also, this is when we're running the listing presentation. I'm pulling permits. I'm running what is happening with NC DOT? Is that near your area? What is happening with your deed? Is there deed restrictions? So we have to look at all of these things before we can even recommend a price. And before my husband even showed there, I have pulled up all of this data for him so we can really understand, are there permits? Have we pulled up the permit records? Because this is a conversation if somebody has a permit or unpermitted additions to the home so they don't show up at closing or during appraisal time. So we catch it and we try to talk to you ahead of time before we even when we're sitting down to talk to you.
Exactly. Therefore, we decided the hero photo on purpose, not by habit, because as my wife said, we're going to check everything for you before even we sat and go over the contract of the selling home.
And the hero photo is a photo. So when we're taking a photo of your home, it's typically, I'm going to make it into a hero looking photo. So it's going to have a Twilight feel. It's going to look a little bit more upgraded. And this is before it even actually gets the professional photographies later on. So when our professional photographer shows up, as long as it is permitted, because, there are some parts that are not permitted because of, airspace. But as long as it's permitted, they're sending a drone.
You're talking about the drone pictures.
Right, this is photography, yeah. So they're going to get a drone photo if it's possible. And that's going to see things that people can't see from the driveway. The acreage, the pool, the water, the mature trees, the private setting in the back, the cul-de-sac, the corner unit, whatever it is about your home that makes it special, that's what a drone really is going to capture.
Exactly. Therefore, this aerial photo is really important because it gives you all the glimpse of the house for those that the home buyer is really cares about those features, and it helps you put in front of them.
And also, I do tighter lots into the neighborhood, front exteriors, and earn the spot, lead spot, often made sure it's done at Twilight. Either way, it's a decision, it's not default, and it's not just throw all the photos up there and be done with it. Your home is also with us when it's a listing. So we already told you, professional photography, phone calls. Now we're going to talk about the next thing, a website. Now every listing that we have gets a private website and an own booking link. So before you launch, your address already has dedicated website, not a generic one, with your private listing so they can contact us with the listing of contact us to schedule an appointment. So serious buyers get to see your home instead of playing phone tag with a different office, because Al and I are the office, right? So if I'm not working, he's working. This is how we hand off to each other. We're husband and wife team. And also, we have keywords that I have built into the website that are specifically tied to your address with keywords that are SEO looked up, which is also just something else that people don't always think about. So
and basically anyone who comments is on our own post gets an instant message that is straight to your homepage, and it's showing the link and no digging through the feed to find you, basically.
No, I know I talk too much because when I talk about my systems, I just get so excited. Now let's talk about launch week. Your home does not just launch and then we just hope for the best. We're going to have a rollout. Want to explain that to me?
Exactly. It is rolled out over the first 2 weeks. Each piece is basically leading on purpose instead of everything dump in the day one. and a teaser goes out before you even go to the public. And go live day is a full carousel basically built from a real photography and sent out to everywhere at once.
Then the video start. We typically do every video gets two different videos shot in horizontal and vertical form, not one. And this is the whole house. And then once we finish the cinematic tour, we're going to do different things with the cinematic tours. You have to do 24/7 open houses with it, live, someone wants to watch it. Also, you can have us walking through the home. The third one we often do is us walking through the home with our own cameras, talking about how awesome this house is, and that's going to go on our website, which is amazing too. And with that one, there's not really a script. When we're walking the house, there's no script. That's just an honest answer of what we're seeing as real estate agents when we're walking around the house. I go, oh, look at the quartz, whatever it is that I'm looking at. And this is not going to go on this does not go on any MLS. This is going on to our private YouTube, but our private YouTube does have quite a few views on here as well. So you might not see it, but we do have a lot of people who subscribe, which is great. Now back to the MLS. You want to talk about the MLS?
Exactly. Basically, the MLS rules, as my wife said, won't let us brand the official tour of the video. So we cut a clean version for MLS and separately branded version for our own marketing, and each size correctly for a platform, for example, for TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, you name it.
Or their MLS websites for private agents.
Because all that you don't want it to do is squeeze it into the wrong shape or size for each of these platforms.
And then also the kitchen spotlight, the primary suite spotlight, they all get their own carousels and that rollout that day. And every open house is one of us is trying to go live on camera. Maybe it's going to be Facebook, maybe it's Instagram, maybe it's YouTube, but whatever it is that maybe a TikTok. But we're having real questions come in from the comments while we're actually at the house. And this can be, a person might not be able to walk there in person. Maybe they're in a completely different country. We've had that happen, but they still want to buy a home in this area because they need to for whatever reason. And so it's really giving them a chance to ask questions when they're looking at it online.
And by the end of those 2 weeks, we are putting a real local housing market numbers alongside of your home, so the home buyers see it in context instead of on its own, which is super important.
Now, say this is this market, and we're not talking about houses that sell like instantaneously. This is really what marketing is for. So if that home is active, as long as this home is active on the market, new videos we're going to get published multiple times a week, not just a burst of activity because we need to tell you that we're doing something. It's going to be scheduled and logged. Every open house runs like an actual event where we're actually running Facebook events, we're running something to log visitors, we have real time happening, and we can give you an honest report of what's happening, real attendance, real feedback, and what we would recommend.
Exactly. Basically, if turn out, what was that?
If the open house turnout is awesome, we're going to tell you about that right away. Or if it's not so awesome, we are still going to tell you right away. But you're going to get real numbers every single week: page traffic, video views, actual inquiries, not just a vague sense of how things are moving.
And if you got real. If you got the market basically pushed back, we don't just see it and wait somebody shows up. We don't quietly drop the price and hope for somebody again put down an offer in the house. We'll swap the hero photo so the listing reads anew again. And what else we can do?
We want to put a video that actually answers any questions that the people might object to the home when they're phrasing it at the showing. So say someone says that your floors are slippery. I'm just making up an excuse right now. The floors are slippery. Now I can have a whole video explaining these floors are made from this, and really overcome that objection in a video. So anytime we get feedback, positive or negative, this is a video opportunity.
Exactly. Basically, this way we can refresh basically presentation, or we will restage a room if the feedbacks, for example, call for it is always and disclose it.
So basically we're refreshing the presentation all the time. Also, I want to point out, we didn't talk about this, I often do a lot of AI if the house calls for it. Some houses are beautifully done, and other houses need like an AI photo images where we're going to have
staging.
staging. Thank you. I couldn't think of the word staging. And that's just something that really comes into play as well. So staging is really just something I look at as well on a day-to-day. So really, we're looking at campaigns. What works? What approves? What can we do to get people there? That is really clear. So where do the buyers typically come from?
Exactly. Therefore, a lot of home buyers moving to Greenville are not from here yet, and that is the beauty of it. And they are basically researching on the social media, YouTube, different platforms like Instagram, TikTok, before they ever open a portal search. And what is the Greenville, for example, North Carolina look like? Or what gonna be looking like moving to Greenville, North Carolina? And that's what our channels or website comes to the play, because it's going to answer people questions.
Right, before they buy or even ever calls and gets their own agent. So they're calling us first typically. So again, there's a guide we have on our website, guides for every neighborhood, every major employer, every subdivision in our area, whatever it is, there is a guide so people can actually understand what, not just your home, what is going on in the area, how far it is to Aldi's, how far is it to Trader Joe's, anything they need to know that they're asking questions on, it's going on there. So when we have a spotlight on a subdivision with real market data, and we're covering what it's like to actually relocate, how fast your job is from this subdivision to these employers all the time. And it's not a rotation, not a campaign. This is not fires once and stops. This is happening all the time. So when your home goes live, the people who are really already looking at that subdivision are really getting that data because they already want to be in your neighborhood. Now they're seeing relocation content and it's hitting, and maybe that home fits all the buttons that they've been having, and they're going to call us.
And don't basically take our word for it. Basically, go watch it yourself. Go to our website or our YouTube channel, and that's where basically we wanted to make sure that we put all the information from those potential home buyer.
Now I just want to quickly go back to my staging. Really, the room is empty. I'm definitely going to be virtually staging it, but my virtual staging has to be against the original photos. We have to be honest with it. We have to say virtually staged. I might be putting in I'm not changing walls. I'm not changing anything in the picture other than adding some furniture and adding some paintings on the wall. And that's just something, it's going to also get listed as virtually staged, so people know this, so they don't feel tricked. I've seen homes where people have called us about a pool, and you go to the house and there's no pool. So this is not okay. This is bad AI agent staging, what we would never do, because that is misrepresentation. But we're not adding a pool that doesn't have a pool, an indoor pool anyway. Yeah. But basically, this is
that scenario.
Yeah, we've seen it. And then it's hard to have that conversation with somebody as well. Be like, no, that's fake. So when the home goes into the MLS and it's syndicating out to other, and it would not our listing for that one, just so we're so clear, it was not us that invented the pool. But with the MLS, of course, it gets syndicated. You can now choose which syndications you want. So if you love this website or hate this website, you can now choose. That's a new thing from the 2026, where you want the portals to actually see your home. And especially if you have a higher listing home, maybe you don't want it on portals, that is something else there. You also will find it on Facebook, Instagram, broad Greenville area with the same housing rules for every real estate ad that goes out there.
Exactly. And our Google business profile also stays active with the real posts. So we show up when someone searches home for sale near me. And what it means for them.
So if you're trading up, the buyer list calls are happening before the buyers are matching while you're already waiting for the home. If you're downsizing, the exact same system happens. Nothing is scaled back because your home is smaller. There are many people looking for smaller homes. If the job is moving you, pulling up the permit, the pricing, and all of this that we do will not stall anything later on. So if you have an IRS lien, you need to know about that IRS lien that we're talking about right at the beginning. And if you've inherited your home and you have to handle it far away, we do this all the time. Having a dedicated showing, giving honest feedback, and from wherever you might be. It's not guessing. We're seeing what's happening here.
Exactly. We are, and if you're selling basically a top tier private listing, you can go to our Calendly, and
no, they'll have a Calendly link on the website. We can control the showings a little bit more if that is what you choose, because this is really up to you. But we're really having a channel that helps a lot of relocating buyers. is exactly the discretion that you might be seeking.
Exactly. We are Alan Victoria Pinder, icon real estate agent with eXp Realty, and we are here to provide information for you that you get the right choice and right decision. And don't forget to go description below, book a calendar link with us, a Google Meet, and also watch all of our playlists here. And don't forget to subscribe in our channel, write us a comment. We love to connect with you, and see you next time.